Oh, good morning, YouTube. This morning I wanted to talk a little bit about relays and humidifiers. We'll take a couple of minutes to give at least one or two people a chance to start watching, and we'll go from there. Give it another 30 seconds or so. All right, so relays and humidifiers. The picture showing now is a variety of relays. They come with different numbers like 9290, 9293, 9380, and so on and so forth. But basically, a relay is not much different from a contactor. The only difference between a relay and a contactor, as far as my understanding goes, is that a relay has got normally open and normally closed contacts, and a contactor is pretty much normally open all the time. Notes on the upper right show this is a relay setup for any heat pump system that energizes reversing valve in cooling and a standard bypass humidifier. With this particular layout, what we're trying to do is enable a humidifier to operate during heating but not during cooling. So you've got your common circulating through to all of your common sides of your 24 volt coils, and you've got power from the O terminal and power from the Y terminal, and then in this particular diagram the power going to the humidifier is delivered by the R terminal. Typically I don't care to do my relays running off of system transformer power. Now, if you are going to add too much to the system, or add very much to the system, you'd be better off adding a transformer or upgrading the transformer in the system to a larger transformer to handle the additional load of all of those 24 volt coils. So for this diagram, let's just walk through what we've got here. The 9290 relay on the top has got 4 terminals on it. It's got terminal 1 and terminal 3, which is your 24 volt coil, and then you've got terminal 2 and terminal 4, which is your normally open. When you get power between Y and common, the cooling power on why that number 2 and number 4 set of contacts closes. When you lose power, those contacts open. On the 9293 below it, you've got common at terminal 3 and power from the O terminal or the reversing valve at terminal 1. The 9293 has an additional leg that is normally closed, and the one that's blacked out below the number 1 terminal is your normally open, very similar to the 9290, but not exactly the same, because it actually has an additional terminal at terminal 5. So that relay, the 9293, when power goes to orange, you energize the 24 volt coil and you open the contacts between number 4 and number 5. So if we get a call for cooling, we're going to energize the 9290 relay, and we're also going to energize the 9293. Energizing the 9290 will allow that relay to transfer power between number 4 and number 2. But when the 9293 is energized by the reversing valve terminal, you're going to open that circuit and it's going to cut power to the humidistat and the humidifier. So that particular layout will give you a operation only during heating, when your reversing valve is not energized. Check on a couple of comments here. Amp draw. So if you were going to add a humidifier to a gas furnace, it would basically wire up the same as the 9290 relay at the top of the picture, but instead of tying into the Y terminal, you would tie into the W terminal, so that when heat was energized, you closed the relay between contact 2 and 4. And that would allow the humidifier to run during heating, but not during any other cycle. I was going to do a drawing that would show a gas furnace plus a heat pump, but I didn't get around to actually drawing the picture. But basically, a gas furnace would add a third relay if you were running a dual fuel or a hybrid system. And that third relay would tie into common and use the W terminal, like I said, very similar to the 9290 that is in the picture, but it would be in series with all of that. Wanted to give a shout out to Ed Wyman or something like that. After my other video asking about how to energize a blower during the call for humidity when the system did not need to run heat, he sent me a picture of a diagram that would allow you to do that. And basically what you would do is you would take the wiring that goes to the humidifier and add another relay that would allow you to break or make contact on a third relay that would energize the G terminal and allow you to run the blower when the humidistat energized the circuit. I think I'll probably do another follow-up video to this where I actually draw it out with a little bit more clarity for all of the options. But at this point, I just wanted to cover a little bit of the concept of relays and humidifiers, and I figured that this particular drawing that's on the screen right now would actually allow some people to get a little bit better grasp of, you know, what you're trying to do there. I did install a 3 relay system. I'll throw up a picture here. It's not exactly very pretty, but we'll let you look at it anyway. So I prefer to use the 9380 relays rather than the 9290 and the 9293 because they're more universally capable. So in this instance, I've got a 9293 on the upper right above the circuit board. I've got a 9380 below it, and then over on the left I've got another 9293. The 9293 takes power and allows the system to energize when the gas furnace comes on. The 9293 on the upper right is for the heat pump, and then the 9380 on the bottom right is the relay for the Y terminal. And earlier I said it was for the heat pump. That's actually, the one on the upper right is for the O terminal, or the reversing valve. Anyway, like I said, I'll try to do a follow-up of the diagrams that you may find useful for the total layout. I'll do a gas furnace only. I'll do a gas furnace with a relay to energize the blower. I'll do a heat pump, or reuse the picture I was using a minute ago, and then I'll do one with a dual fuel system to try to give you an idea of what it takes to get all of this wired in. I really appreciate you guys watching and all. I am actually headed over to the Ample Storage building where we had the new evaporator coil put in and then found leaks in the refrigerant piping. Dennis Noon, I think your name is. Off topic, the AC renew on that Duquesne pack has not been followed up on yet. We're still waiting for the warm weather to come back this season to see what is going on with that. When I get back to that system, I will either record video or maybe do a live stream. MI Heating guy said, in our furnaces we just use the W terminal in common to run the humidifier. Yes, that is not a bad option, other than the potential for dragging down the transformer power. And I prefer to use isolation relays and a second transformer so that we don't crisscross. Now, one thing that I should note in regards to my 3 relay layout, I tested it after wiring everything up, and when I started up the system, it was running in heat pump, but the inducer motor kept trying to come on also. I was kind of confused as to why it was happening, so I disconnected the orange terminal, and when I disconnected orange, I was getting a flip-flop between heat pump heat and gas heat. And what I came down to as the issue there was that the common between the furnace transformer and the additional transformer were not in sync. I ended up having to go ahead and add a common terminal between the 2 transformers so that they weren't fighting each other, since at that point I was stealing power from the furnace transformer to energize the coils, but I was running other power through the other terminals, and I was getting a little bit of interference between the two. Yeah, a lot of companies have done it that way, Mr. Heating Guy, and it typically does not cause a problem until you, like I said, get into systems that have got additional accessories dragging power down from the transformer in the system. If all you're doing is a humidifier only as the only accessory added to it, you probably never have any significant problems, but every once in a while you can run into some issues. I appreciate your feedback on that. So like I said, I'm headed over to that ample storage system. I'm going to go ahead and drop this one off, and we'll maybe do another live stream when we get over there and get some information together, or I'll just shoot video today and post it after I get finished. Before I close out, I will give you a live view. Thanks for watching. I hope it helps somebody. If you've got any questions, I'd be happy to email you diagrams of the diagrams that I showed in here, and any additional diagrams that you'd like to be able to have for future reference. Feel free to shoot me an email at stevenraridan@gmail.com, and we'll see you. Well, let me check this one more question. Is there any manufacturer that has hookup on the control board, like air cleaner terminals on the board? There are some systems that have a Hume terminal on the circuit board. The thing that you would have to confirm there is whether it's high or low voltage. Sometimes you'll run across some that output high voltage, similar to EAC terminals. But anyway, before I start talking out of my butt, thanks for watching. I'm going to close this one up. I'm running on almost 20 minutes now, and the data is sucking. So, thanks for watching. Like, subscribe, comment, share, and we'll see you on the next video. Peace.